Welcome back to Formula One Power Rankings. Today we will rank the 20 drivers prior to the Miami Grand Prix of the 2025 season. And in P20 we have still Liam Lawson, who did his best race of the season so far. Was much closer to his teammate this weekend and seemed to get a little bit of his confidence back. The debatable penalty to him cost him his result, but in the end it wouldn't have been a points finish. So if he continues on this form, I see him scoring points really soon. And in P19 stays Jack Doohan as well, who arguably was not in his best track in Saudi, had a bad qualifying. The gap to Gasly was huge this weekend. At least you can say he didn't crash. He needs a result pretty soon if he wants to keep his seat over the summer break. Otherwise, his F1 career unfortunately could be really short. In P18 we have Gabriel Bortoleto, who lost a place in comparison to last week. He had all in all a really slow weekend, almost crashed into his manager Fernando Alonso, and also you can say that there's not much he can do in this car. The team tried something different with the strategy, pitting lap 1 under the safety car. Didn't pay off for him. But all in all a quiet weekend and needs to learn. This is the most important for this year. P17 we have Nico Hülkenberg, who also lost a place compared to last rankings. He was again quicker than his rookie teammate, which should be the case in pretty much every race. But for him, the only chance for more points is a chaos race or a major car development. Otherwise, I think he should develop trust and the processes inside the team and then look forward to 2026. Lance Stroll in P16 also lost a place compared to last week. His quali pace was nowhere again. At least he didn't crash. I think I predicted in the last video that he would crash in Saudi. He also tried something different from last place with the tire change. The first lap also didn't pay off. Had a huge gap to Alonso, his teammate. So after a pretty good start to the season for Lance Stroll, this weekend was not so good. In P15 we have his teammate Fernando Alonso, who also lost a place compared to last week. I think you can say that he drags this Aston Martin into places it really doesn't belong. Finished in front of both Haas and a V-Carb. So this car should be around P17 and P18 and he finished P11, so really good job. There are rumors that maybe Verstappen will join Aston Martin in the future, and this could be the end of Alonso's career. Otherwise I don't think that they will fire Stroll, but because his father obviously owns the team. I think Alonso's pretty calm. I think it doesn't happen right now because the Aston Martin is so bad, but he needs to keep an eye on this. In P14 we have Carlos Sainz, who gained 4 places from last week and is the biggest winner of these rankings, obviously. He qualified brilliantly in P6 and finally scored points in the race, so converted his good qualifying. His first best of the rest finish, where a lot of people expected him to finish in the beginning of the season, and he also showed that he is a great teammate because he helped Albon to secure the points as well. And he needs to continue to score points if he wants Williams to finish P5 in the Constructors this year, which they are right now. P13 is Yuki Tsunoda, who lost 2 places in Saudi, had a really good qualifying, but unfortunately had a lap 1 incident, which was not his fault. I think it was a racing incident. I think you can say, considering Tsunoda, he shows the pace, obviously not at a Verstappen level, but clearly faster than Lawson before. He shows the pace, but he needs clean races, and we can also keep an eye on the Miami upgrades if they help him. We will see after Miami. In P12 we have Pierre Gasly, who was there the week before. He had another stunning quali performance, but also crashed with Tsunoda in lap 1. I think he is the one who could have avoided the lap 1 incident by going off track I think that he didn't go off track shows that he's a racer all in all. You also have to say if he has a clean race start, he is in the battle for the points again. Pretty much all you can say right there. P11 we have Isaac Hadjar, who scored 2 places from last week and scored a point again after a normal quali session. Probably even had the pace to attack Albon. This was not possible due to the Williams strategy with Sainz giving Albon DRS. I think the strategy hard to medium was really great. Finally VCAP did a good strategy with him, and I have to say Hadjar so far impressed me pretty much. Did not expect him to do so good. In P10 we have Esteban Ocon, who had a difficult quali again. The race pace also indicates that the Haas was not really quick this weekend. He also tried the different strategy going long after lap 1 pit stop, but it showed no difference. He finished behind Behrman anyways, who I have in P9, so also Behrman stayed in P9. He out-qualified Ocon again, and as I said with Ocon, I think the Haas performance is a bit track dependent, a little more track dependent than other teams, but all in all I think he had a solid weekend without anything shiny. P8 stays Lewis Hamilton, I have to say for now, because he finished a mile behind his teammate in the qualifying and the race. He seems to have no answer right now why he has these problems at this point, but we also shouldn't forget who he is. He is a 7-time world champion, so I think he will get on top of these things. He also helped Leclerc immensely with the defending and re-overtaking he did with Lando Norris. So at least he did something for his team to score points, even though he didn't score as much. P7 still is Kimi Antonelli, stayed there from last week. He just finished behind Russell in the race. I think it was like a second behind, which is at this point where we should expect him. And if the Mercedes gets better or gets a track which suits the Mercedes better, I think he's also in the hunt for a podium. It's been really solid this season so far, really impressive rookie campaign for him. P6 goes to Alex Albon, so we have P10 to P6 stays the same. He was out-qualified by Sainz again, but he maximized his result in the race with P9, and I think the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix showed how good of a driver pairing they can be, and I think he needs to get back on top of things, but all in all you have to say there's not been an event where he has been really outperformed by Sainz by far, so he's doing fine. In P5 we have Lando Norris, who lost a place from last week's rankings. He crashed again in qualifying after being quick in all sessions prior to Q3. In the end he finished P4, so I think he did a decent recovery. You can say that he sometimes overtook at the wrong places. I'm thinking of the Hamilton actions, but at least he limited the damage in the first few races. I think if you see his races, it's pretty good that he's only like 10 points behind Piastri right now, but he needs a result in the area of Piastri to boost his confidence again. I think he has been a really tough time. P4 we have Charles Leclerc, who had another good qualifying again, but he had an even more impressive race. He made the overcut strategy work perfectly. He had good tires at the end of both stints, so he's kind of a tire whisperer these days, and I think he's also part of the reason why Lewis Hamilton is looking so bad, because Charles is performing so great, and finally he got also the podium that he deserved maybe a few races earlier. In P3 we're starting with the top 3, and it's still George Russell. He finished P3 in quali and was in the hunt for the win after the first stint. I think he overdid a bit on his tires and could not do much afterwards. Got passed by Leclerc and Norris. Probably had even another car issue. I think I didn't catch that, but with a bad race he still gets P5, so I think all in all solid points. And in P2 we have Max Verstappen, stays there from last week. He had an amazing pole lap again. I think we don't even have to talk about this. This car doesn't belong on pole in any of the races so far, and he managed to do it twice, so good job to him. But he also kind of threw away the win at the start. Firstly the poor getaway, and then staying in front after gaining the advantage off circuit. But probably I think he didn't know that he had the pace to win this race in his car, so he tried to stay in front and obviously didn't get away with it. They also tolerated a lot more in F2, so I think he was a bit cheeky there. But yeah, like Piastri said, it would have been the same if the roles were reversed, so Verstappen is a racer, and I think we shouldn't forget that it's incredible that he was in this position in the first place. I think this shows how amazing of a driver Max Verstappen is. But P1 right now has to be Oscar Piastri, stays there. He kept cool with the situation at the start, got his third victory in the first 5 races, and also was top of the championship contenders in the sprint race we had so far in China. So 4 out of 6 he finished kind of best of the championship contenders. And if we remember Australia, this championship lead could easily be over 25 points right now without this tiny mistake in the wet. So in the moment he's clearly the favorite to win it all, but also in F1 things change pretty fast. It's a long season, so he needs to stay on this level, but so far so good. This was driver power rankings after Saudi. Before Miami, we will rank the drivers, of course, after Miami again. Looking forward to the European start of the season in Imola, and yeah, hope you enjoyed and see you guys then.